Ty Bartel with Anthony Hartwig and the Falcons three-hole hitter this year. Abby Toth, the Falcon sophomore first baseman, joins us today for another edition of Player Profile. Abby, how are we doing today?
Doing real good. Just came from a softball lift today, so good workout before this interview.
Got to get some work in too with all this rain that are keeping
Ugh.
games off the schedule too, unfortunately. But Abby, I want to talk a little bit about you coming into this season, and particularly you going into the three hole for this Falcon lineup. I think you really impressed a lot of people on the senior freshman year, batting seventh in that very potent Falcon lineup. But just the trust of this really good cast of coaches putting you in that three hole. What does that mean to you, and what has it meant to you to kind of be one of those RBI leaders in this offense this year?
Feels really good because starting off in the seventh hole, it's down in the lineup. So now that I'm in the third hole, I know my coaches trust me to keep our batting lineup going. And if there's two outs, they can trust me to get on base and keep the hitting going in the inning we're in.
One of the great things about this softball team at Austintown Fitch is so much talent from the youth down and up to the seniors, which means when you're given the opportunity, like you have to grab it. And so when Coach Ward came to you and said, "Hey, we're going to put you at first. We're going to give you this opportunity to hit in the middle of the lineup at the three spot," what was kind of going through your mind? What were some things that you wanted to make sure that you were able to do to not waste that opportunity that was going to be given to you?
I worked extra hard at practice and I did extra things at home, which I should always be doing. It meant a lot, especially getting the varsity uniform because our pinstripes were our varsity uniforms. So if you knew you made varsity, you got those pinstripes. So it felt really good walking out that uniform and then knowing that I get a starting spot on varsity my freshman year.
I do love those pinstripe unis. They are tight for sure. Talking about you though in a softball realm too. Where did this softball journey begin? What's some of your earliest memories in the sport, and when did you fall in love with it?
I started falling in love with it when I was about 10 years old, when I started my first travel league. I've been playing since I was maybe 6. I played for Mill Creek. But I've always been in love with softball since I was little. But my dream finally started when I was 10 years old.
You talk about the 10-year-old, when you start to realize softball was something that you wanted to dream about and pour your work into. Was there a moment or maybe a season that put that in perspective to you that you realized when you were 10, like, hey, this is something that I really want to pour time in and do more than just do it for fun?
So when I was 10, that's when I knew I wanted it. But when I was 12 years old, I hit my first home run and I was in a hitting slump. So after I hit my first home run, I knew that I could make a big impact further on in life. And I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Now, is the dream to try to continue this on into the college realm? Is that something that we're striving for?
100%.
Now you look at the colleges too, and I think you're going to have a pretty decent choice that is going to be
Yeah,
open up to you, honestly. But what are some dream locations for you, or have you kind of scouted that, looked at that? Is that something that you've looked ahead for?
Yeah, I've been going to a lot of camps. I really like Kentucky. I love Coach Lawson. I like Michigan. Michigan's a good one too, even though it's really cold. They still have a great group of girls and great coaching staff.
when you think about things that you want to look for in a program, things that would catch your eye and things that make you like the Kentucky and Michigan that you already mentioned so much, what kind of things are you looking for?
Really good softball program. Coaching staff is great. I don't know really. I'm not up there yet with the colleges, but I have been scouting like things that I would enjoy. They have a beautiful campus. Kentucky does has a beautiful campus, so
Do
I
you
like their
have
campus.
a career path that you like might see yourself going into that you start to look for, saying like, does this program have this kind of stuff that I can go for education wise?
Not yet.
That's okay. You have plenty of time, I think. So no rush there.
Talk about you though in the high school realm too. Where is what do you love the most about high school softball too, and what do you love the most about this particular team and having the experience with this Austintown Fitch Falcon squad?
My teammates, 100% my teammates. It literally just, they're amazing.
You know, when you play as much softball as you do, you obviously are pouring a lot of time in it. You're pouring a lot of dedication into it. What kind of things stop you from the burnout that we hear from other players that are playing so much travel ball and then they go into high school ball? And what kind of keeps you from that part of the softball journey?
My mom, she always pushes me to be my best. She always makes me go hit off the tee, go do this and that. She's always one step in front of me with my softball career.
Abby, I don't think it would be out of the world to say that you had a very unordinary freshman year in winning a state championship and being in a lineup that won a state championship, and just having that experience. Talk about having that in your freshman year, and what kind of expectations did that set for you going into sophomore year now?
That was a very exciting day, especially with all our supporters. Our girls, we just played relaxed and had fun. My expectations are higher than last year, but every time it'll get higher. Every time you do something good, your expectations should go up, and that's how my expectations are.
Because you guys are the reigning state champions, every team on your schedule knows exactly who you are. You're always going to have that target on your back, whether it's in the tournament or in the regular season. What's that been like for you guys this year to realize that everyone in the planet is gunning for you and they want that top spot that you guys currently have?
We knew since the beginning of season we were going to be the biggest target. It feels good in a way, but yet scary because they're going to play the best against us. But I know we'll play our best against them and come out on top.
This past week, too, you recently lost your first high school game of your entire career, too. Obviously, Mother Nature also played a little bit of a factor in that. But just talk about, do you find value in experiencing that for your first time? Obviously, you guys bounced back quick, 15-0 win in conference, too. Do you find value in experiencing your first loss at the high school level?
I do. It sucks, but I do. I think we needed saying that because it's hard to stay undefeated for as long as we did.
You know, you might not have a lot of losses on the softball field, but I'm sure you've dealt with your fair share of adversity throughout your journey so far, whether it be hitting slumps or mental blocks or whatever it may be. What do you think is the biggest adversity that you've faced so far? And talk about how you were able to get yourself through it.
My hitting slump. At the beginning of my freshman year, I was not hitting very good at all, which sucks. That's awful to say, but now in my sophomore year, hitting the third hole, I have a much better batting average than I did freshman year.
So when you were going through that, what were some things that you were telling yourself to keep with the process and to get through that hitting slump that you did get through?
That I work way too hard for what's going on and that I need to just relax and be myself.
I think it was against the Menor Cardinals too. She smacked a couple home runs and walked it off as well too to get out of that hitting slump.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
You talk about your teammates too and being the one of the best experiences of this team. And I mean, I'll say every game I'm at too, they're blaring the speakers out too with some great songs too. They know how to have a party before games too. And you talk about just playing loose and just having fun. How do you guys keep that mentality, but also keep that kind of competitive edge to yourselves about being state champions, reigning state champions this year?
We know when it's time to turn it on. We turn it on. We have our fun. We goof off. We do all this stuff. We goof off in the game sometimes. But we know once we step on that field, we have to back up Sid and our catcher Kylie. We have to back them up and be walked in so we can get those 3 outs and go hit again.
You talk about backing up Sid. I mean, you get to play defense behind one of the best pitchers, not just in the state, but ranked in the country. What's it been like to be a part of this journey with her and to have one more year with her after this one as well, and to be able to just be a part of all the hoopla that is being on the same team as Sydney Watts?
It's amazing to be on the same team with Sydney Watts. I knew me and Sid knew each other since we were little. But being behind her back, knowing that she's a phenomenal pitcher is amazing because I know she works her butt off for us to get those outs.
Not just Sid, but you guys as a team are ranked nationally in a lot of polls by a lot of reputable sites and sources. You talk about that too, and is there pressure that comes along with that for you? I know you guys play loosey goosey, you guys like to have fun, but is there a bit of pressure seeing yourselves on all these lists too, and trying to, I guess, live up to the standard that everyone else is setting for you?
It is pretty stressful because we want to keep the standard high, but we always know it's just a ranking. It doesn't define who we are as a team. It's there. We know we're good, like, but it feels good to have we're being number 4, I believe, in the nation, I think. But it feels good.
Let's get to know you a little bit off the field too. Obviously, everyone knows what softball talent you bring to the table. Do you have any hidden talents? Anything that you're good at outside the softball field that people might be surprised about?
Um, I don't know. I'm a pretty open person, so if you know me, you know everything about me. I'm pretty open.
What's your favorite song that comes on in the dugout this year?
That's a hard one. Mm, that's a hard one because we play a bunch of them. We play our walk-up songs and then we go into goofy songs. So it depends on the mood.
Talk about your walk-up song and why you chose it.
I chose Carnival because I liked the beat of it. I liked that it sounded cool to walk up to.
I want to know about your favorite dugout snack, and if you only could have one snack for the rest of your whole softball career, what would you want it to be?
My Chick-fil-A order.
Whoa! What's the order? What's the go-to?
I get my Chick-fil-A order before every game. I get the #1 add American cheese with Dr. Pepper, and I dip my sandwich and my fries in barbecue sauce.
I'm a
So
Dr. Pepper fan, fanatic as well too. So I'm with that boat.
colleges, be aware that you better have a Chick-fil-A on campus, or
Or at
he's
least
not coming.
close. At least a mile radius from it.
One of the TikTok trends right now in softball is the teams lining up, and you see them all pitch, and you have to decide who's the pitcher. So if the non-pitchers on your team did that, who would sell it the most? That would make it hard to decipher who the pitcher is.
Kaylee Ray.
That was quick.
she got that too. What about Kaylee? What about her? That
She used to be a pitcher.
so she's got the
She
background.
pitched an inning for my travel ball team and did amazing. So I think she'd sell it the most.
Makes total sense.
What's some advice you would give to maybe a younger softball player that has their share of adversity? Maybe they're going through their slumps too, about how you stuck with it and seeing the success you're seeing now.
Just be yourself and have fun with your teammates and your coaches because you won't play with them forever. They're there for that amount of time. So
as we look ahead, Abby, before we let you go, one of my last thoughts is, what are some things that you still have on your goal board as personal accomplishments that you want to see yourself get before you graduate, Fitch?
I would like a certain amount of home runs. I don't know how many, but I want a certain amount.
You don't know the number, but you know when you know. If you hit that number, we're good.
Coach Bob would say home runs overrated though, but I know they all like to roll their eyes at Coach Bob. We talk about this though, Abby, and your career has been phenomenal at Fitch so far. But I know they always like to talk person over player mentality too. What have you learned about yourself as a person going into your high school career and going into being a young adult now?
That I am very outgoing and I'm not afraid to try and do something new. That's something I think I've found in myself.
Abby, talk about role models real quick and the people that you look up to and the people that help you through this softball journey.
Ayla Ray, of course, and then my other corner, Morgan, me and her, we have a little sign for everything, like bunt, slap. We have everything over there. Ayla Ray and Vita, both seniors. Ayla Ray is going to be tough to let go of, but she's been a leader since my freshman year, so there's no doubt about that.
Abby, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to just shout out your support system and the people that have stood by you throughout this journey.
My mom and my dad, my stepdad, and then, of course, my siblings and my grandparents. Especially my papa. My papa is my number one supporter.
Well, you got a lot of love throughout the family, you got a lot of love throughout the community as well, and you got a lot of love from us here at YSN, Abby, as we are excited for the things you're going to continue to do in your softball career, both on and off the field. This has been another edition of Player Profile with the Falcons sophomore first baseman, Abby Toth.